What is up, comic fans? Happy Sunday. This is At Weeks in the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and so much more. And there's a lot to talk about as we just had San Diego Comic-Con kick off in epic old-school fashion. So there's tons of fantastic things to dive into. We'll be doing all that and more right after this. Huge shout out to the homies over at Big Time Collectibles. Be sure to check them out, follow them on social media, all that good stuff. They just announced that they're going to be doing their gold tier membership program. Be sure to check out their website and get some details on that. And if you need anything cleaned or pressed, my good friend Justin over on Instagram can hook it up. So hit the link in the description below to find out how to get all your books cleaned and pressed, and let them know you found them via the channel. And as always, a huge shout out to ABX Comics and Games located in Augusta, Georgia. If you're looking to get into comics, if you're already into comics or into tabletop gaming and such, again, hit the link below, follow their Facebook page, and have some fun with it. Let's go ahead and bring in the panel. There's a ton to talk about tonight. Let's waste no time. Calling Sector 2815.
Hello.
How are you tonight? What is happening?
I am doing well. I am ready to do that. We just got so much. Go to the next person because we got to bring everybody on so we can talk about stuff.
All right. Hailing from Canada. I wish we could bring them both in at the same time. It's close as we can do it. Yes. Did y'all plan that?
The Canada people should be above us.
Yeah, let's fix this.
I'm a power bottom though.
There you go.
That's
true.
There we go. There's our layout for tonight. We've established the pecking order.
Canada, America's hat.
Boom. Or America.
Canada's
crystal meth basement plug. All right, never mind. Let's just go.
Let's rock and roll. I'm glad to hang out with all you guys tonight. Happy that everybody's joining in the chat. We've got a few people already in here. What is going on? Evil Mike coming in. Greetings from my basement. There we go. William, What is going on, brother? How are you today? Las Crucius, what's up? What's up? How dare you let these people beat you, Las Crucius?
What happened?
I bet he did probably comment first. It probably just isn't showing up on the StreamYard. And Kyle, what is going on? Good evening. Good evening. Trev, what's up? What's up? What's up? Couching and slouching. Hello, hello. Trev was there earlier. This morning I was hanging out on Bleeker's little Sunday morning hangout thing. There's a fun little argument over Gambit's first appearance. Gambit's first appearance.
Reverend Bleeker, church with Bleeker.
Yeah. And Trev was in there for that. What is going on, couching and slouching with C Bizzle? Hello, hello. Big shout out to TM Nerdy hailing from Hawaii.
Hola.
Hey, Mark, just chilling, eating pizza rolls. The good life. The good life. What is going on, Pops? Pop sent me a picture earlier of Abe. He's watching Abe while we're here. And Abe's like curled up. Because, like, you know, Pops' dog passed away not long ago. He still has, like, Pumpkin's little doggy bed and stuff in the house. And Abe was just curled up in Pumpkin's bed. Melted my heart. Melted my heart. Dr. Von Hoot. What is happening? Hope you're doing good. Scott, good evening. J of GDL is an SDCC, so I guess I'm here tonight. I should have spelled here. I'm sorry. J of GDL is an SDCC, so I guess I'm HERE tonight. Well, we're glad that you are HERE tonight. Happy to have you. Scrolling. Brother John, what is happening? What's good? How big are BTC? Oh, they're big enough. Definitely big enough. They are fantastic. They are the only online comic book retailer that I will co-sign. Justin does do a great job. House of L, good to see you tonight. Hello, hello. Durs, my beautiful Durs. Hey. What is going on, brother? How are you? Tate Prime is in the building. Hello, hello. He was last month's Legion Loot winner. Mm-hmm. And so not next week. Next week will be the 30th, I think. Or the week after that, we'll draw for the next one. But next week, I'll for sure have the books in hand to show everybody what will be in the Legion Loot for this month. I got some good stuff sitting back. I picked up like a Swamp Thing 1 that'll make its way into it. I don't know if it'll be this month or the following month. I've yet to decide it.
Like Swamp Thing one from the 70s. That is your number
Yeah,
one.
Swamp Thing number
You
one.
are good to your people, man. That's good.
My people are good to us, to each other. We're all good to each other over here. So yeah, every bit of the channel member stuff goes back into the channel, and I have fantastic resources at my disposal. So I try to use them as much as I can. And I've got stacks right now. I've got a stack of slabs, all high grade, no younger than 40 years old, all like Marvel DC 40-year plus books and 9.0 and better that are been picking up to put into Legion Loot. I figure anyone can do slabs, but I have a unique ability to get old high grade slabs. So I'll
Would
do
you
that
s-
while it's available, till it runs dry. And when it comes to new books, I'll do I have BTC that has like the new exclusives and ABX that I can pick up new books. So
Would you
I
say
try
they're
to do what I
fat
can.
stacks of slabs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I try to buy like the same amount of Marvel and DC so I can alternate it as we go. But I figure no matter who you are, you could appreciate owning a Swamp Thing number one. If you don't have one, books like that.
I
You
don't
know.
know. I'd hate that. I'd hate the only Swamp Thing one.
Hey, he did. Hey, I think he said he did comment first. I was way too early. Okay, so yeah, if you
Okay.
comment early, I don't know why it sends it away. Pizza rolls? What is going on? The real James Willie is in the building. ABX is in the building. I picked up some really cool stuff, new release stuff that's been coming out as well, like that foil Teen Titan, World's Finest Teen Titans. Like it stopped me in my tracks, kind of cover. I'm like, I'll got to get one of those for the box and stuff like that. Raider Nation is in the building. Hello, hello. Scrolling. I was stoked to get a comic shop this week. First time this year, 4 hours away. Wow, that is a trip.
That's dedication.
Legion. I try to make it fire, Trev. I try to do my best. I'm like, what would I like to get in one of these? And I try to make sure it's a wide variety of stuff. There's no way for every book to be up everyone's alley, but I want at least a couple of things to be in there to be keeper stuff. Smash that like button and sub up your panel and share and share and share and share. That'd definitely be nice.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do the BTC Gold Mystery Box? I am. I for certainly am. I don't buy modern variants. Like I say that, but like I get like the foil logo ones, you know what I mean? And I buy Jang books, but I don't just, you know what I mean? Like I don't even get all the foil logo variants. I got the Superman ones really, but I buy Jang books. I support John Jang as an artist, but I don't really find myself like collect that way where I'm not necessarily an exclusives type collector. I can't really speak from any kind of authority on that, but those BTC gold boxes is a monthly subscription box. And there'll be an exclusive comic exclusive to the box. Then there'll be 2 BTC exclusives, 4 random comics, and it's $60 shipped monthly. Here we go. I got a Swamp Thing 1 in the press right now. Wink.
Oh.
I wonder whose it is. Yeah. Dustin, good seeing you, my man. That's how you know it's Dustin. He's pressing. Bart, what is up, brother? What a vacation transformation. You like it? Like my hair's out? It already looks like a little sunned in. Got a little red on my skins. Phil, what is going on, my man? Phil, I actually have your sticky note stuck into my laptop when I close it to leave. Your books will ship when I get back, my man. Well, I was visiting my mom and it was near her house, near enough. Nice. The next question is, will Mark come back with Hawaiian shirt, white mustache, DJ for vacation? Yeah, I most certainly don't think I have my flamingo Hawaiian shirt. That's what I wrote down here, and I was wearing it Friday morning on the community hangout. I always leave for vacation, dress for vacation. You have to act the part. You fake it till you make it kind of thing. So after about 2 days being here, I'm finally starting to feel like I'm on vacation. Hello, Beth. But yeah, we'll see how it works out coming back from vacation. I don't want to come back. I come back hitting the ground running. I come back and I I'll have this show the day that I come back next week. And then the next morning I'll be up at 5 a.m. to go to work. And then Tuesday, Finn has open house to start kindergarten.
Mm.
Hmm.
They grow up so fast.
They
Yeah.
do. And on a huge plus side, less than 48 hours from now, me and Paul will be comic hunting in Jacksonville. Jacksonville, where is it?
Jacksonville.
I'm going to Jackson.
Yeah. So we'll be hitting up a couple of the Coliseum of Comics,
Mm.
which we were able to do last year. I go down to
Jacksonville.
I go down to Jacksonville every summer. I take one day and we drive down there and hit some shops and stuff.
Jackson's in Mississippi. Jacksonville's the capital of Florida, right?
Tallahassee's the capital of
Tallahassee's
Florida.
Tallahassee?
Oop,
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I'll
didn't
hand in
mean
my
to-
American passport. I'm sorry.
Didn't mean to expose geographical knowledge.
Is my Canadian showing? Okay.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to go hit some back issues. Nothing. I'm not key hunting. I'm just not in the mood for key hunting. I'm run hunting right now. So like I normally do, I'll check to see if we have any Hulk issues, any Tales to Astonish, some early monster issues. I'm not looking for the big dollar ones. Just some complete readable, low grade is better than no grade, nice affordable ones that I can read. And I'll check to see if they have any of those elusive higher number volume 1 Transformers. Those are the 3 things that I'm looking for. Just do a little bit of run filling, some more stuff to read, which is good because I brought some stuff with me to read, and I'm kind of trying to pace my way through it because I didn't bring a lot. I'm running low already. So what do y'all want to hit on first? Y'all want to talk some San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Sure.
So real quick, just to preface this, San Diego Comic-Con is the legendary comic convention that is like supposed to be the end-all be-all mecca of all comic conventions. It's turned into a giant pop culture fanfare event where not just comic book industry, but television, toys, movies, everything comes together like butt cheeks. And they tend to make all their big announcements, trailer reveals, show reveals. They have all their A-list celebrities attached to projects there. And the focus has, in many ways, shifted. I mean, it's kind of just a natural progression, shifted from like the comic creators being the rock stars to the actual like movie stars being the rock stars being the rock stars kind of thing. But this year was different. We're in the middle of the writers and now the actors strike, and we did not have a major footprint by movie studios. We didn't get any major announcements and stuff like that, at least not to any like meaningful degree that we've seen in the past at all. And it made this actually a comic convention again. The news has been dominated with comic book, toys, and animated style stuff announcements. It gave so much room for the old school feel of a Comic-Con to actually have, like Chris is looking at it now. It's insane. So there's a ton of exciting and fantastic news to go over. And I guess we'll just go around the horn and ask like what's maybe someone's most exciting announcement that they got. We'll touch on some, I'm sure, shows, some comics, some just all around. TM, do you want to kick it off? I know you're prepped for this.
Oh yeah, I have a few comics that I'm excited for. They got announced. One of them was announced at Gotham City panel on July 20th. Revealed that DC's most underrated superheroes, the Outsiders, will return, which I'm excited for. They'll be led by Batwoman and Luke Fox's Batwing instead of Batman this time around. They haven't released who the team is going to be, but it's going to be a weird pop culture adventure, according to the authors. And it's going to be written by, where's the name? Writers Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, who already worked together in Batman Beyond Neo Gothic.
Nice.
Captain America.
Well, we're sticking with DC. Saying what they've done.
you can cover whatever you want to cover, Chris.
I'm just saying, yes, Jackson Lanzig and Chris Kelly, they did most recently Captain America: Son of Liberty.
Yeah, they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy too, right?
Yes, they are. Yep.
Mark is redder than Mr. Krabs. And what's funny is it just looks that way on the screen. I don't think I'm just that red in person, to be honest with you.
So I'm
I think I'm
pumped for
just
that
normally
one.
like super pale.
I guess so. The younger version.
Is he though?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure his
apparently-
name is Trav
or,
or is
Sir
or
Timothy.
Sir Timothy. Yes, Sir Timothy for being esteemed. He's
Another
more of a
serious
Barbie pink in person. Yeah. Yeah, Hefe. But no. And for those that don't know, if you're watching my Monday graded comic collection series that has that Catwoman CGC 9.8 giveaway attached to it, it was Headquake Jr. that donated this lab to be given away. So be sure to give him a follow on here.
Nice.
He picks up like some really cool mystery boxes and exclusives and stuff. He's not trying to grow a channel, but he does share his hauls on YouTube. That's where he kind of shares his comic book stuff. He does some fun videos. He does BTC stuff, Comic Mint. Yeah, it does Kickstarters packages, and they always have all kinds of wild stuff in there. And some of it's not safe for work, so go on with your big boy pants on. Off the spinner rack, nice. Wasn't that an anniversary issue?
The first Batman and the Outsiders was actually Brave and the Bold number 200, and then it became Batman and the Outsiders, I believe, with number 201, I believe.
Yeah. So Not Near Mint is in the chat. He actually hit on the first one that I actually wanted to bring up was they announced the identity of the new Punisher and the writer. David Pepos is going to be writing it. So those that follow the channel know I don't do a lot of Marvel, but one thing I do is Hulk, Ghost Rider, and Punisher. I enjoy those characters a lot, always have. Hulk is like one of my faves. But I'm excited to see this new Punisher. It's a retired SHIELD agent with a generic name. I forgot what it was because it just didn't stick. I read the article, but just looking at the original teaser art where they had his face blacked out, I was looking at the guns thinking that they might pull some Deadpool move or something because they looked like Liefeld type guns. But apparently it's a SHIELD agent that's taking matters into his own hands. So I'm definitely going to be giving this a shot. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see if they're going to fold in Frank or send this guy after Frank, or if it's going to be attached to Frank at all, because we know where they left Frank, like in like another realm kind of thing, ushering those kids to safety and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I'm not sure if y'all saw that or plan to pick it up.
I'll be picking it up. I thought it was Frank is training him and like just setting him up because Frank kind of wants to retire, but we'll see.
Frank's on the lam right now. Like the way that they ended that. Was it Jason Aaron's that just wrote that fantastic run that everyone was like, they're taking his skull away? When like, no, he's just it's part of the story. He has his skull. His actual vest is sitting right by his bed while he's leading this ninja organization. Like it didn't go anywhere. It's there. It's right there. But they cleansed him of the possession by the beast, and he had an all-out fight with pretty much the main A-listers of the Marvel universe, and then he just his wife left him, having returned Maria from the grave. She's like, yo, like this is how you honor our children, by murdering people. That's not what they would have wanted. I gotta go. And so he checked out too. He's like, all right, well, I'm going off the grid. So I think that would be cool if he has a hand in this guy's doing. And I like I like what they did with the symbol on his chest too. It's almost like it's lit up, but it is the skull. They use just like the eyes and the lines to create the skull effect on his chest. Yeah, he's in Weird World. Dead. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to do. I won't. It's such a not normal thing here. We're going to have to see where it goes. Oh, I dropped Gotham Knights. That was a chore to keep up with.
Yeah, it already got canceled.
Chris, what's one of the announcements from this?
So there was a few that caught my eye, but I'm just going to go with one. For nostalgic reasons, the first Spider-Man arc that I read hardcore that I went into as a kid was Gang War. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was Kingpin, Hobgoblin, and a few other secondary villains that were like just flipped New York upside down. And well, this weekend there was a panel that said that there's going to be a Spider-Man centric gang war crossover. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be as good as the first one, or I'm not going to sit here and say the first one was incredible. But I'm just saying, for nostalgic reasons, when I first was picking up Spider-Man month for month, it was the gang war storyline. Zeb Wells and JR are going to be handling some of it, but it just says at stake is the control of the super crime in New York City, and the criminals who are going to war with each other include the Hobgoblin, Mr. Negative, the Owl, Shotgun, Diamondback, AIM, Hydra. AIM, by the way, I believe AIM might be one of the villains right now that's going on with Miles. Spider-Man decides he can't let New York City become ground zero for a war between these criminals, so he decides to take drastic measures and essentially form a small superhero army to take down the gang in just 2 days. Zeb Wells is going to be handling most of it, but Ed McGuinness is going to be doing the interiors, which is always okay, just okay. But we'll see how it plays out. But Miles is going to be tied into it, so I'm presuming then Miles and Elektra are going to be some of those that he that he reaches out to for help, including the return of Luke Cage. So
where's he been?
Luke Cage's just been absent. Like him and
he hasn't been dead or nothing though, right?
No, he's just been absent from titles. We haven't Shang-Chi has been out there, and but
and they're going to have
Danny Rand either.
They're going to have like Luke Cage and Daredevil are going to have their own gang war miniseries, I think, as part of it, or tie-in issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
But yeah, as I scroll through here, Spider-Woman's going to be part of it. Jessica Drew, and yeah, I was just kind of hoping to see some of the artists and other creators are going to be part of it. Rodney Barnes, Ramon Box, Steve Fox, Corolla Borelli, a lot of names I'm not very familiar with. But, it can't be any worse.
You're so hopeful, or you're trying to be so hopeful. I know the feeling, man. It sucks when like your favorite thing's not hitting. It really does. Like, I'm a Superman fan, I'm a Hulk fan, but no one has had it as bad as modern day Spider-Man fans. It's just not. It's not right what's happening.
Yeah.
And I think honest to God, think this is their jaded reaction to Sony still having rights, because we saw what they did with Fantastic Four. We've seen what they did with X-Men, and now there's just Spider-Man out on the lam with the company. And look, to be fair, all of Marvel is really struggling to really deliver for fans on like a ultra meaningful level when it comes to comic book writing. But the Eisner is proof positive of that. But
there are snippets, like there are things, but it's difficult when a lot of those are mostly miniseries. Like I said, however, there have been some shining lights in amongst it all. Again, Empire of the Spider comes to mind. Captain America: Sentinel of Liberty, something I really enjoyed. The most recent Ghost Rider,
Fire.
That was a great psychological comic book, but I'm thinking he's going to talk about Dr. Manhattan, if I'm right. Paul,
right.
What was your big takeaway?
Oh, I have a couple of things that I could talk about.
I haven't even touched on my number one excited one yet.
Okay.
Or number two or three.
I'm extremely excited about the DC animated universe that's coming.
That's where I was going with it.
Okay, definitely excited about that. But from a comic standpoint, there's two things that excite me. One of them is, and we've talked about this on other streams, how after the death of Superman, the next thing that came along was the return of Superman, and how it would have been nice, and how they had set up all of the different characters, Connor and the Eradicator and John and Steel and everybody else, and the Cyborg Superman, how they put them all on the chessboard and it would have been nice, to do like since they did the 30th anniversary of the death, to do the return as well. And now we got confirmation that they were doing it. So that was one of two. The other one is um, Eisner Award-winning Tom Taylor is going to be doing a Beast World. A thing is
that's on TM's list.
Right.
Yeah, so let's slow down on some of these. So yeah, the Return of Superman is getting the big 30th anniversary treatment, just like the Death did, giving us what I can only assume, if they're going to do it in any kind of similar format, we're going to get a big, oversized one shot that'll probably give us numerous short stories about these characters and give us some new content. And we did get introduced to Doombreaker in the Death of Superman, a brand new character that they're still using right now. So who knows what they'll have up their sleeve for that? But that's really when that was the opportunity where they really spotlighted how much love for Superman there really was. How this sleeping giant of opportunity was just sitting there. Come on. She had it with her, wasn't it here? So I'm wondering if they're going to lean into it even heavier with Return of Superman.
They like Louise Simonson is doing another story for it, so they are putting together some of the people again that were part of the 30th anniversary, and part of the return. So
animated wise, they've already done Reign of the Superman. They did it during the New 52 era run of the DC animated universe. It was fantastic. Scott says in Reign of Superman, my favorite line on it was when Green Arrow wanted to shoot Connor in the head. Savage. And back to before we hit the animated universe, what is the what did you say, Beast World?
It is. It's going to focus on Gar Logan, Beast Boy. But I wouldn't be surprised, Travis, if Animal Man gets in there somehow, since it's Beast World. But Tom Taylor is going to do it through the Titans story. So it's a huge story that he's doing with the Titans.
I have the official synopsis here. Indicates that Beast Boy will transform into Starro to stop the Necro Star. As Garfield and Starro combined, he will turn into intergalactic world conqueror, forcing Amanda Waller to take action. Unfortunately, the villain will use the situation as an excuse to bolster her war against metahumans. Beast World is the first Grand Titans event, and it has an incredible team to back it up. Given this, fans are already convinced it will be a great series. I'm pumped for it, too.
So this is an event book, Beast World. This isn't the standalone, just Gar Logan title?
It sounds like it's going to be an event book.
Yeah.
My phone will stop jumping on.
Dang Huawei.
Damn Huawei.
Did we talk Johnny Cage animation yet? Synth wave and 80s vibe and R-rated, and Jeremy Adams' passion project is what that is. Jeremy Adams has been sharing about that for a hot minute now. And that falls under the Mortal Kombat animation, falls under the same wheelhouse as the DC animation stuff, hence why you get that kind of quality and studio letting go of the reins and letting people do their thing. And sticking with that here, Chris. There you go. Boom.
Thank you.
Big announcement coming out of the DC animated slot. We have what seems to be one standalone film, because we have the connected universe. It's been dubbed the Tomorrowverse since they started it fresh after the Apocalypse War film. And we're getting a Watchmen movie. I'm not saying that I'm surprised by this. I know that there was a couple people there's a couple people that I called hey, did y'all catch this Easter egg? Did y'all catch it? Directly following the events of Supergirl and the Legion of Tomorrow. Paul was one of them. TM was one of them. I'm like, yo, they just teased Dr. Manhattan, and I don't think nobody noticed it, but they put his symbol.
Right. Symbol, the hydrogen symbol.
Yeah, they put the hydrogen symbol as the scar mark on the ground when they beamed everyone to War World. I'm like, that's not a coincidence. There's only one beam. Why is there a hydrogen mark on the ground? And maybe that was their way of just having fun, of knowing what was coming. Maybe they're going to play into it. Maybe you can't do Doomsday Clock without doing Watchmen first, and we're leading to a Doomsday Clock movie. That's what I want. I know a Doomsday Clock gets a lot of gruff from people, and a lot of people. It's one of those ones that even if you didn't read it, people like to rag on it because it's like one of those fun things. But I loved it.
It just proves that nothing can exist without Superman.
And
He is the center of the universe.
That's it. Nothing will exist if Superman's not there.
You know what else proved that?
What's that?
The Flash. Like, dude, you've been saying that. Like, it happens so often. Like, without him, nothing else happens.
Right. In the end, that the Earth that doesn't have Kal-El will fall every single time. That's the premise of the Flash, by the way. Everyone who thinks that the Flash is junk or trash, you're welcome to it. But I'm only going to say this to you one time. The whole premise of everything that happens in those alternate worlds is not his mother, it's not his father, is the fact that Kal-El was killed as a baby, and if there's no Superman, the world will always fall. That's
the Flash, Doomsday Clock, and most recently, Tom Taylor's Adventures of Superman, John Kent. He's literally on a mission to stop Ultraman from killing Kal-El through the multiverse, because every time Kal-El dies,
everything collapses.
The universe follows in suit behind it. Can't stand without him.
So I just want to say that, you know, DC is doing a Watchmen animated, and somewhere that little vein on the side of Alan Moore's head had just exploded.
His beard just got longer and grayer.
Exactly.
So if them announcing and doing they did a motion comic in tandem with the release of the Snyder movie. You want your Caprice in? But this is a full-on actual animated feature film.
So the synopsis here is the Watchmen.
Yeah, I went to the car and got it.
The Watchmen animated adaptation presents an opportunity to revisit the beloved characters and complex narrative with the creative possibilities that animation offers. Fans are eager to see how this latest adaptation pays homage to the groundbreaking graphic novel while delivering its own distinct vision. With the buzz surrounding the announcement of this movie, DC Comics enthusiasts are looking forward to revisiting this influential story and witnessing its impact on the animated medium. The adaptation is set to continue the legacy of Watchmen and explore its enduring themes in a new and exciting way. It's set to release in 2024.
I'm out. I was in, but now I'm out.
That's it. Too much, man. It's too far.
You see what they did with Hush when they're going to take the book and I don't know. I might this is a me thing. If you're going to do Watchmen, just adapt it shot for shot, the best you can do with the time that you're allotted. If you think you can cut out and trim any fat, you're wrong. So do it in 2 parts. It's just that simple. Like you can't improve. Yeah, you cannot. Yeah, exactly. The Killing Joke, Hush, the changes that they made did not improve the story. Now, if you look at what they did with Flashpoint, they made that story so much better, but they were just pulling source material from the tie-ins. Like you can't improve Watchmen unless you do the Zack Snyder ending. I still think that Dr. Manhattan explosion worked better for the story narrative because your nuclear explosion was the theme of the story, not giant biological engineered fear monster. But what are your thoughts on?
I would not be surprised if both Watchmen and Crisis on Infinite Earths are both 2 parts.
They better be. Both of them should be. How can you do like a 12-part maxi series like Crisis on Infinite Earths in one movie?
Right.
But real quick, is the new Super Sons movie the first movie in the new animated universe? No. So kind of the format it's Superman, Man of Tomorrow is the first one, followed by Justice Society, followed by Green Lantern. But in between the actual connecting movies, they do one-shot films. Like Super Sons is just a standalone story, not tied to anything else. Catwoman Hunted was a standalone story, not tied to anything else. The Tomorrowverse films connect.
I think Long Halloween was connected with Tomorrowverse as well.
Long Halloween Part 1 and 2 is the official introduction of Batman into the Tomorrowverse. Isn't Watchmen still the number 1 selling graphic novel of all time?
I believe it is.
I'd have to check, but
I don't know.
I know
The
it's.
Killing Joke
I
has
know it's
so
never.
many printings.
I know it's never. But Watchmen is never out of print. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask
with
Alan.
Watchmen. Exactly.
Yeah. Alan Moore's probably 1, 2, 3. Let's be honest, right?
Steven
Wonder how
C.
they're
What is
gonna-
happening?
So at some point, all of the animation is going to be connected with what's going on in the DCU as a whole. So I'm wondering if that Crisis on Infinite Earths has anything to do with that.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, like we were just talking about, like how they did Reign of Superman, they did Death of Superman, but they did it in context of their animated universe. It was not a telling. It was not like we're not just going to adapt the '90s story. We're going to take the tone and elements and theme of it and apply it to our animated movie universe. So, Crisis on Infinite Earths, that's like they're bailing on the Tomorrowverse already. Like we're about to be at the end of the Tomorrowverse already. That being said, I mean, like we do have a lot going on, and they burned Hal Jordan already, for example. Like he's done. They've kind of, I don't know. I wonder if this was just going to be short lived compared to the animated universe that we had before this that ran for so long.
So there were other news. J. Michael Straczynski has struck a deal to go to Dark Horse. Greg Capullo's first work for Marvel has been announced. It's going to be a variant cover for Wolverine 37. So the first character that he's going to handle is actually one of the last characters that he handled when he left.
I think it'll be better than Miller's variant that he did for Wolverine.
Let's ask the Magic 8 Ball. All signs point to yes.
Yeah, probably. What is going on, Adventurers? Joe, Nauman, how are you doing? Bobby, glad you can make it. So real quick, Rom V signed exclusive with DC during this time, and he also announced a book, Batman, something Gargoyle is in the name or something that.
Yeah.
Raphael Grandpa, right, is doing
yes.
it.
Yeah. So that's about to talk about a perfect pairing. Because Raphael Grandpa didn't he do the last Golden Child? That installment for the Dark Knight universe. So my biggest comic book announcement hype, and if Evil Mike said he really didn't hear anything that excited him, and if nothing's done it yet, got one up my sleeve. My number one most excited announcement. This is just because it's really just playing directly to my my fandom bone here, but we have probably the most epic crossover event of the year happening.
I know what it is.
It is the biggest crossover potentially that has ever occurred. We have the Titans themselves and the Justice League crossing paths in Godzilla Justice League King Kong crossover event of the year. Tell me that's not just amazing. And from the design and the style of it, it's clearly the legendary versions, which are some of the biggest, baddest versions. If you ask me, I mean, Godzilla Earth is like the capital G, but this is going to be dope. How they're going to write a story that just doesn't involve Superman flying through creatures and calling it a day or throwing them to the sun is going to be interesting. These type of books only exist to service fans. Like it's pure fan service. But if you watch the channel, you know I love Justice League. You know I like Godzilla. You know I love King Kong. And like this is going to be a blast. This is going to be hilarious.
This could be the coolest announcement since Kong versus Godzilla 2 years ago when we went crazy over that movie. Yeah, I hope somehow that Kong and Godzilla somehow have ties to Krypton, so Superman just can't manhandle them somehow.
Dope. Yeah,
like just
Godzilla
something
like
an
abomination, Kryptonian abomination.
But this is the crossover that I don't. Paul and I are the same or close to the same age. That when Hanna-Barbera would do the Godzilla cartoon and then Super Friends was either on or just after, I'm like, oh, I wish like all this could just be together. Like, what would happen if Godzilla stomped on the Hall of Justice? Like, meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, Godzilla just stomped on it, and then King Kong just comes roaring in, and like the Batmobile's flipped up. Yeah, like this is it.
Yeah, I hope we get a cover by Inaki Miranda. I ought to message him and ask him.
Yes.
Inaki's doing the current Godzilla. Like, so the again, if you watch the channel, you know I was on my list. Issue 1's the only one that's hit stand so far, but there's a Godzilla series out right now called Godzilla There Be Dragons, and it takes place in the Bahamas and pirate days. It's Pirates of the Caribbean era. And Inaki's doing the A covers and the interiors. It's ridiculously good.
Yeah, it's probably his best stuff since Out of Body, right? Like for color, like yeah. Sorry, Paul.
Speaking of covers, from the Land of 1,000 Covers, we're going to be getting The Last Ronin 2. That was announced as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle.
Jumping.
Thanks for deflating my balloon there. So yeah, I wasn't a fan of The Last Ronin. I thought the first issue was great, and everything's just done this from there. The Lost Days books are fine.
Even that years ago we called Leo. Yeah.
No, I called it was Mikey from Jump. It was the only one that made sense. Like if you're going to tell like an emotional story. And then what got us is me and Chris sat there after issue 1 and literally laid out the exact format of every single issue from there. It was that predictable. So when it came down to execution time, it wasn't enjoyable. Every issue just got more and more bland. It's a great concept.
And further apart between each issue too.
Yes.
That took a lot of the steam out of it.
Almost, right? For 4 issues.
Yeah.
But what I did do is I collected all the John Jane covers. I've got that first one signed, remarked, and slabbed. Even the Lost Days, I've got the Jane covers that have come out for that. And one thing that, like, he really does do the Turtles very well, very unique. I really enjoy his Turtle cover, so I'm not going to be mad if we get some more of those. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. What was other big news? The Eisner Award winners list came in. Now, there's a laundry list of them, and I was starting to screen grab them and put them up into the channel, but it's just easier to read the ones that were notable. But this I called, as did anybody with common sense, best single issue comic of the year, or one shot. In my mind, there was only 2 options. Like, despite the fact that I read DC heavy, there's no way that any other publisher would have come close to these 2 single issue comics. And one of them was Mark Russell's Superman Space Age issue 1 that, if I'm not mistaken, was nominated.
It was.
And the other one was Tom King's Riddler, One Bad Day. Nothing I have read in years comes close to the quality of those single issue stories. And lo and behold, Tom King brought home the W. So One Bad Day by Tom King and art by Mitch Gerards won best single issue one shot.
The last page was iconic.
It was insane with him just behind the Riddler. Just
like I've had enough.
So, and then best limited series, y'all ready? Another one. Nope. Another one that we called Human Target by Tom King and Greg Smallwood. Another one, best continuing series. Now, this is no surprise. I think this is 2 years in a row, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was at least nominated last year, but best ongoing series winner, Nightwing by Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo. Best short story, Finding Batman by Kevin Conroy and J-Bone in the DC Pride 2022. Best coloring, this should be no shock to anybody at all on the planet, Jordi Belair for her work on Nice House on the Lake, Suicide Squad Blaze, Ant-Man, Miracle Man. So Jordi Belair, she just crushes.
She's the new Terry Austin.
Best penciler/inker or penciler/inker team. So best interior artist with a pencil, not digital. Shock to no one here. Human Target's Greg Smallwood. Shock to no one. Now here we go. This one is this one me and Paul scratched our head. Best publication for teens. And Paul did
I don't know if I would want a teenager necessarily to read this.
So that's what me and Paul said. Like, I don't know if this is necessarily teenager related content. This is pretty heavy stuff, but it says ages 13 to 17. And we didn't know if that's kind of like a rate. They go by the rating system, like the maximum lowest age possible that should read this book and above. But this is definitely an adult book. But I was happy to see that win. Best cover artist, Bruno Redondo for Nightwing. And got to give it to him, not just the covers, but what he's doing with the creativity, with the style and stuff, what he's doing on the inside of that book. I don't read it, but even I'm like, that's wicked. You did a first person perspective issue. You did like the 2-page splash,
like
follow the like. Yeah, he's been doing some absolutely wild stuff. Yeah, weird category, but I'm just happy it won. Absolutely. Yeah, I think he could have easily won for miniseries of the year too. Best writer, Chris.
James Tynion IV.
For a laundry list of awesomeness from House of Slaughter, Trash, Something is Killing the Children, Wind, Nice House on the Lake, The Sandman Universe, Nightmare Country, The Closet, and Department of Truth.
Maybe 3 would have been deserving, but
I think Department
I've
of
never
Truth
read
for
Wind.
certain. Yeah, Department of Truth for certain. Nice House on the Lake. That was just so complex. Like, and for me, the two qualities of those two series, like the story mapping and planning that this man has to do. Like he sees the finish line before he puts the first word on the page, and it shows in his work. Now I've dropped Something is Killing the Children, but I can't deny that I did it because of the writing. It's not really my bag of tricks, you know. And the art layout is absolutely atrocious. I'm not going to lie. The Weatherman can't run a panel layout to save his life, and that is annoying. But I'm not crazy for saying that. Numerous people that read the book say, like, yeah, he does.
Oh, in defense of House of Slaughter, this particular arc was very good. I know most people pulled the shoot on it, and that's fine. However, The Closet has, in my opinion, no right to be mentioned. It was not good. It had a fantastic premise, but it's to me, it's just a one shot. They spread it out over 3 issues, not necessary, and it just kind of it's a great idea, and the dad's an alcoholic. So it's all right. But again, Something is Killing the Children is holding its own. But I've never read Wind, so I can't comment.
I didn't even know that J-Man was in the chat, and he says that he's leaving. God dang it!
Wind is fantastic.
Is it? Yeah.
Yes.
You will say he loved House of Slaughter. It's good. I know that first arc was just a little boring for me.
I'm a little saddened they actually didn't put in notation DC versus vampires, as the tail end of that story was last year.
They couldn't put that on there because they read Deceased.
If
you read Deceased, you know that DC versus vampires is not it.
I'm just saying, if they're putting his body of work,
it
should be there.
He's almost like the guy that just has a shotgun approach. He writes so much, something's got to hit. The Closet was a good story, in my opinion. Great story of a bad dad. E-Man says, Wind is one of my faves. Jeff Lemire could have easily won Best Writer. I don't think he's dropped trash in the last year.
Green Hell somewhere should have been pointed out and at least given some sort of honorable mention.
That one spans 2 years as well.
Yeah. For different reasons.
Really was good.
For different reasons. But I thought Green Hell was fantastic. If they did Best Prestige Format book, I think that would be a big candidate.
So notable things that were going on in television announcement wise, they dropped was it just a one shot Invincible Adam Eve episode special, or was that what's the deal with that?
It's the Adam Eve origin story basically. And then they announced that it's coming season 2 will be November 3rd, I believe.
Yes.
So I guess there's something to look forward to. And I did see the only 2 names that really popped out for newcomers is Chloe Bennett, who played Quake on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and then multiple animated series she voiced on Disney Plus, and then Peter Cullen. He will be entering this season of Invincible.
I know that name.
Yeah.
So they do the whole thing with Adam Eve and everything, and then at the very end they say, "Oh, and this is what Grayson is doing at the time," and it's like a 30-second long clip of him. So,
a couple other shows got announced that they're going to be renewed.
The Walking Dead Daryl
Dixon's getting his own show.
Just see him surviving in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, Dead City is getting a second season. Quantum Leap is getting a second season. Star Trek Strange New Worlds is going to be getting
a musical
season.
special.
Yeah, and Go ahead.
And the Star Trek is like Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks are my two favorite shows that they have. And they just dropped the crossover episode. They dropped it early. It wasn't supposed to drop until this Thursday, but they dropped it over the weekend. So it's out there now.
Is it on Paramount?
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus.
So I got that like a week or two ago, and I've been living on that platform. I absolutely love the amount of content over there. So I'll probably start getting into the Star Trek stuff.
Tulsa King is incredible.
Yeah. And they also announced that they renewed Lower Decks for season 5 as well. And season 4 comes out September 4th, I believe.
That's the Harley Quinn of
Star
Trek, right?
Yeah. But you get the live action. I don't know if you guys ever watch it, but you get the live action Boimler and I can't think of her name now, but you get them in the Strange New Worlds episode. It's hysterical. So.
Speaking of Harley Quinn, that trailer also dropped as well. Season 4 of Harley Quinn trailer.
Yeah, so the next season of Harley Quinn got announced and trailer dropped. Yep.
I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah, and this is a good point. Like, there's all these show announcements, but they didn't really showcase them too hard or anything. It was almost like they were just the planned announcements for this.
And there was a report, speaking of things being delayed, there was a report that Dune may not come out now until next year.
Aquaman.
And Aquaman. So they're going to start spreading things out. And the other flip side of that, on the TV side, they're going to show the first 3 episodes of Secret Invasion, I believe. Ms. Marvel. They're going to show the first 3 episodes of Ms. Marvel are going to be on ABC. Mm-hmm. All 6 episodes of Ms. Marvel just before.
Also, didn't they state that they're going to be doing some more reshoots of Aquaman?
Yeah, they've done 3. They've done 3 sets of reshoots.
Final one.
Yeah, they've done 3 sets of reshoots, and now they're contemplating delaying it.
Yeah,
the studios in general are just they can't. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if they'd have a flop, and I don't mean like in quality wise. I mean like if they push it back, people want to go see a movie. Like, yeah, we'll go see what's out, what's available to us, kind of thing. They might be weighing those. I mean, those conversations are definitely being had. Like, if we have no production starting this day, no production start in sight, so there'll be no movies coming out for this window. If we can push these back, we'll have no competition, not even with our own selves and stuff, and something will be out there to generate revenue. And if we push them back, we'll make more than if we put it out now. We have enough money to float us to that point, kind of thing. All these questions most certainly are being asked. And me personally, I can't wait to see Aquaman. I love the first one.
You may see, like, I know Apple's doing it, but you may see Netflix and the other streaming services roll the dice and put some of their higher end productions, like made for streaming movies, on the big screen to see what happens. Because if they're not going to have that much competition, that DiCaprio movie was a roll of the dice. The DiCaprio De Niro film based around Native Americans having oil on their land. That was apparently may have been strictly for television. Yeah. It's coming, but it's being released in theaters because Apple's thinking that the wasteland is in sights now,
right, for the picking.
Right. And I mean, everyone was saying people don't want to see movies anymore. This weekend proved that people will still go see movies.
Barbie has crushed it.
They just have to have something that people want to see. $155 million for Barbie and $80 million for Oppenheimer on the same weekend.
And Oppenheimer is a 3-hour-long R-rated historical biography film
without a single punch being thrown in the entire movie.
With just an $80 million opening.
Right. Yeah.
That's
insanity.
So
to say that people just want to sit at home and stream things is that they give them something they want to watch and they'll go to the movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is unfortunate for Mission Impossible because that movie, I don't think it's broke 300 yet. That movie deserves its fair shake. That could have been a timing issue. This overflated. This summer was just such a unique thing to watch and track, box office wise.
Like the publicity it was getting, like the Barbie movie and the Oppenheimer being the Barbieheimer or whatever they were combining
Yeah,
the names, and then everybody was just it was just a fad that catched on, and everybody's like, yeah, I have to see this now. I have to see both of them. So
my Regal Mystery Movie Monday was Apple Plus greatest beer run ever. Second was Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell's Scrooged remake was second in another Apple Plus movie. Wow, both were actually decent films. But I don't have Apple Plus either, so that would be pretty cool if they did release some of those things. Even the stuff that's already streaming on their stuff. They had that Tom Hanks post like End of the World movie with the robots in it, and they had that they had some World War II like battleship style movie years ago that I remember seeing trailers for like, oh, that's dope. When's that coming out? Exclusive to Apple TV. I'm like,
they had the Tetris movie.
That was a good film. Yeah, Tetris was excellent. That Tom
it'd be
Cruise
cool is if they took the
Hanks
Foundation and released like 2 episodes a week at the theater. Like, come buy a ticket, watch 2 hours of the Foundation for this month. We'll do the series this month. I would go watch that because Chris, you were here with me when they announced that. Like, yo, the Foundation's coming. Then it said Apple TV. I'm like, what? Can't watch that? Can't buy it? I don't have Apple TV.
Yeah, I like your idea of like getting a series because like not a lot of them are like very long, like 10 episodes of Silo, I think. There is Shrinking. Shrinking's amazing. Ted Lasso was on there. People would go see Ted Lasso on a big screen. I think they'd be like, yeah, we'll go
I was
to the
talking
theater.
to Brother John about that and was trying to figure out how to watch it. And that's when I figured out you can't go to like digital services and purchase episodes of Apple stuff. They don't sell it.
Right.
Yeah.
Air actually wasn't bad. Everyone needs to know more about Jordan shoes. Yeah, Air I heard was fantastic, and it got rushed out. Apple TV is some of the best stuff out right now. Yeah,
it's worth it. I'm considering getting it.
Yes.
I think season 2 just came out, I think, right? Or is coming out now, I think, right?
I don't know. I stopped paying attention to Apple announcements because it's just heartbreaking.
There's another really good Apple show. The morning show is actually really good as well.
You can't I cannot get. I guess I could probably go online and try to sideload it, but it's not like in the Play Store. Like I don't do Apple products. Like I'm a Samsung diehard. I absolutely love and ridiculously happy with my stuff.
I just got a 7-day free trial and checked out some stuff when I did it.
Even my television is a nice Samsung.
Ted Lasso is incredible. Ted Lasso is incredible.
I really like Shrinking though too. Shrinking. Have you watched Shrinking?
Yeah, the Harrison Ford one. Yeah.
See, I don't have a PS4, 5, 6, or 7, Dr. Von Hoot, and my Nintendo 64 just will not download apps as much as I try.
Yeah, should have crossed
my Galaxy 23 Plus. Yeah, that's what I got. I got the big new Plus guy. This thing is amazing.
You don't have a Roku TV?
No, I have a Samsung TV.
So
I have a smart TV, and it's made even smarter. Because it's Samsung, it's not like built into the apps. Like Apple doesn't do Samsung, which is ironic because if you own an Apple, you're holding Samsung product in your hand. When you hold your Apple phone, they buy their screens from Samsung. Those Apple screens are Samsung's.
Scott, my Atari 2600 won't download apps either.
Yeah.
Yours must be defective, man. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I heard there was a lot of issues downloading apps with that model Atari.
See, what Taylor Winder just said is correct. I never watched Slow Horses though.
Did anybody ever? God, I think it's called Open. No, is it Open Range? It's got Josh Brolin. It's an Amazon original, and he's a rancher. And they find this hole on their property, like they drop. Yeah, that I watched the first episode of that not long ago. That was wicked cool. It's hard to watch stuff like that though because it's an R-rated like drama with a sci-fi twist, and because of that, like it's kids can't be around when I watch it kind of thing, and that's very rare. That's why it'd be great if
premise.
they would do some of these shows like we mentioned on the big screen, because you know, can make arrangements to go watch them. Like, because I'm blessed, like in the sense that my mom and pops live close by, and we're talking to each other daily still, and it's easy to hang out with the kids. They have them while we work and stuff like that. It's not too hard to make arrangements.
Samsung versus Apple is like Amazon versus Google, or Facebook versus Twitter.
What's Facebook?
I don't know what he's talking about, man.
It wouldn't be Threads versus Twitter.
It's the Facebook is the abandoned amusement park of the internet.
Got you. Thought that was MySpace.
Oh, that one's been leveled.
Leveled, yeah. It wasn't even abandoned. They've already rebuilt on that land.
Right. It's now a shopping center.
That makes it hard for me to watch R-rated content because my kids. Yeah, absolutely. What's Twitter going to be?
They're changing its name to X.
I think it's still holding on though, because like not a lot of people are moving over to Threads and are using Threads.
Elon says he's changing its name to X. He's getting rid of the tweets.
Twitter's not going anywhere. I'm not saying the name. I'm saying the platform. It's already established. You know, like like kudos to anybody who's trying to do their own thing. You know what I mean? Like it's always better to do your own thing than complain about something you don't enjoy. But I can't imagine how difficult it must be in any market to try to compete with something that's so established as Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, because you're not going to do anything original past that. Like all of them are just pieces of Facebook. That's all they are. Like Facebook can literally do and literally is everything that Twitter and Instagram is. Like if you take those two things and put them together, you get Facebook. You know, here's the text, here's the pictures. Put them together, you have Facebook.
Facebook owns Instagram, right?
Yeah, but that's what they bought it. But you know what I'm saying? That like just in like the layout of it, like its functions, its use, what it is, like it's all already been done. So all you can do is just make a cheap copy of a piece of it at this point.
Yeah, and then that Threads. I heard one of the problems with Threads is that if you decide after you join it that you want to get rid of it, you can't delete it without deleting Instagram as well.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid of them.
That's kind of dirty, right?
Well, what it is, it's because Threads is pretty much an extension of your Instagram. You know, Instagram just doesn't have like the text. You can't make text posts. That's what Threads is. So it's not meant to be necessarily a separate entity altogether. And it connects to your Instagram. Like one button
Right.
just moves you from one to the other. It's literally meant to be like an add-on to an existing app. So that's cool in that sense. Like if you download Threads and you don't want it, just remove it from your phone. You don't have to delete your account. You can uninstall it. It's gone. No worries, no concerns, none the more the wear the care. But it is cool that it's kind of like an extension like that. I thought I downloaded it just to see what's what with it. Then I heard that you can't delete it, which I mean, there's really no reason to delete it once you have it, other than like if you ignore it and just remove it from your phone. If it gets hacked or something, you wouldn't know till it's too late, kind of thing, which is unfortunate. Yeah, IG, Facebook, it's all Meta now. It's all owned by Meta.
Mm-hmm.
There's always Tinder. Oh, wait. That's not one of married guys. But can it do what Snapchat does?
Now that you said that, we're going to see tomorrow. It's going to be like new to Instagram, InstaSnap.
Zuckerberg sells my employer all your juicy data. Yeah, for sure. Johnny boy, what has happened? About to catch a sweet wave and yell surfs up to you. I'm on vacation, bro. It's vacation. I got new flip-flops today. I'm very excited. So like I'll talk about flip-flops a lot. These are the rainbows that I always eat. See how they're like completely flat? Like completely flat. They form to your feet. You start wearing them, and after about 2 weeks, you know how flip-flops didn't have like grooves in them? Like they groove to your feet. So they're completely specific to your feet. These things, like the pair that I have, are about Christmas to be 5 years old. So it's time to get a new pair. That's how long they last. If you've never treated yourself to a pair of rainbow flip-flops, do it.
Taste the rainbow.
Yeah, I wear slides because thongs hurt my feet. Try these then. Try these thongs. They might not. I wouldn't
Tongues for
suggest
your
getting
feet.
these then, Johnny Boy, because these are not cheap. Like these, in my mind, these aren't even cheap for shoes, much less flip flops. But they last for years, and I don't mean like they like y'all. They could probably last the rest of your life. I wear flip flops daily if I'm not at work. Like I didn't even bring shoes on vacation. All I brought was my one pair of flip flops, and then I just got those today. That's all. That's all I bought for when I go to the beach, when we go to the mall, when I go disc golfing. It's just flip flops, and they still last. There's a reason men's open-toed dress shoes aren't a thing. Chris can attest to this. He's seen pictures of me and my wife at weddings and stuff, and he was laughing at me because we're dressed to the nines for a wedding, and I'm wearing my flip-flops. These are dress flops, if you're dressed up with them on. Yeah. I'm most definitely a thong guy. Good to know. Very good to know. So y'all want to touch on some reading? Y'all got anything else from San Diego Comic-Con you want to mention? Were there any books y'all were chasing? Because I believe it was Becker who pointed out to me from his perspective, he was saying the lack of the entertainment people there really opened up the door for this con to have some exclusives to breathe. He saw a lot of talk. Of course, there was a lot of stuff going down on Whatnot where the shops and the booths do their live sales and everything. And there was a lot of fun exclusives where I don't remember hearing about a lot of big exclusives the past few years, but I was hearing about them this year. I know Paul was after some. Chris, were you after any?
I had my eye on a couple of the Jenny Frison stuff that was dropping. Todd McFarlane dropped a couple blank covers that were gold foiled as well, but Todd McFarlane made his debut on Whatnot and stuff. And
yeah, I watched that whole stream while I was driving up here.
Yeah, and like he seems really pumped about his future. I'll show a couple of covers. Just give me a second.
All right. So to spotlight what he was just kind of saying right there, Todd McFarlane is moving to Whatnot to start doing sales. So they did the official first stream of his live from the con, and it was really just an interview format and nothing you haven't heard before if you follow Todd. And during the stream, they didn't sell anything. They didn't even address the chat. They just spoke about what Todd does in comics, what he's working on with Spawny. And they gave away 3 individual books that were part of his exclusives pack for San Diego Comic-Con, which are pretty much just blanks with gold trade dresses on them. But he's going to be running shows. You know, he's going to be selling books, I assume doing signatures on books you buy. And I cannot even fathom how big that audience is going to be. You know, we've seen big audiences and popular influencer streams and stuff, but now we have like actual rock and roll stars of the comic books moving over to Whatnot.
So
that's a Comic Mint exclusive, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at the Canadian retailers. This is from Mutant Beaver. This is the In Hyuk Lee for Action 1056. Like that's gorgeous.
And it's a foil. You can find that at Mutant Beaver.
Yeah.
I'm with Taylor on this. Hopefully Todd has a chiseled signature.
I got something else, but Todd after
Pablo
Chris
Villalobos is doing ASM 28. It's a nice Black Cat cover. Kind of Adam Hughes flavor to it.
Did you see the Black Cat Venom exclusive that Nelson just got in? He already did the pre-sales, but they're in hand now and they're foiled. And my God, it was wild.
I thought
San Diego Comic-Con, I wish I was there to get the Alex Ross Joker comic and scene.
This was released in the foil.
Yeah.
Limited to 1,200 copies. Let's see.
The Comic Men had that too.
The Zatanna.
Oh, I like that.
Avengers 1. There was another Death of Superman black foil.
Yeah, that was from the comic. Well. Yeah, the Comic Mint was jumping on the BTC bandwagon, trying to do Now I'm not just trying to stand for BTC here, but I wasn't even going to mention it to them doing the Death of Superman one, but I went and I saw their website and they did a Harley Quinn logo variant for red, white, and blood.
Yeah,
Who did
that's
that
a
cover?
Will Jack. That's a Will Jack.
Didn't Ariel Diaz do the BTC Black Hat? I'm not too sure. Todd said he's going to give away everything in his house, including his junk.
Yeah, he said he had
Are there
like
any
plane tickets that he would like sign and give away, or like.
These are actual just pictures of paper comics that you can have picked up from the con. But I've been a few of these night terrors and haven't been too impressed so far. There's some really good night. There it is. Like there, yeah, that's goofy.
Yeah, that's Harley Quinn. I'm take it.
Yeah, that's the black, white, and redder.
Right.
This is one of the Frisons I was.
You find the Alex Ross ones because Alex Ross put out like 2 or 3. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
off of
Goni
Montez for that.
The Alex Ross. Just give me a second. For those DWJ fans, what's up?
Yeah, I've actually got those right here. So the 2 that I was looking for that I was after, Transformers 1 releasing in October, it got an Ashcan comic. So one thing that's cool, it's not only the actual Daniel Warren Johnson first Optimus Prime cover, first actual Transformer cover, is the fact that this should have some of the story in it. We should get the first snippet, pretty much a teaser, right, for issue 1 of Transformers with this. So I was able to cop this. I was after this and one other book, which I was also able to cop, which is Void Rivals #1, which is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, also done by Daniel Warren Johnson, which if y'all watch my Heroes Con stuff, I had the poster of this that I took, and it was like my goal to get this signed. That's what I want to get signed. And as you know, I did. I got it signed and that drawing done. There we go.
Yep.
Look at that. That's an image that he's had out for a long time.
He's selling it for $150.
That can't be the comic. That has to be the lithograph or whatever.
So this is Batman 135/900 Alex Ross SDCC Virgin Variant exclusive. Only 10 copies available.
Holy crap.
Through them. So there might be 100 altogether, but they managed to get their hands on 10.
I'm pretty sure E-Man had that book for sale.
I got it from his website for $75.
There you go. But remember, this is Canadian prices, so this is probably in
there
the neighborhood of $120 American. There you go.
Jeff says that's 50 unsigned, 100 signed.
Right.
Yeah, here we go. The Ashcan is a preview sample, so that's what's got me so excited. Is it's about to be August, and we'll already get to read some of the Transformer story, which I can only assume that with the Ashcan coming out, you can probably search and get those panels digital. There'll probably be an article out next week of some kind of preview form or fashion talking about those first few pages, but I'm excited about that. What is going on Aggressively Relaxing? It also puts the pressure on me because y'all know my goal is to get through all 80 issues of Transformers before October when that series drops. That's a beautiful cover. Who is that? Adam Hughes?
Adam Hughes.
Yeah, that's a beautiful cover. He just can draw, man. Some people can just draw. Like, it's not like stop the press, but it's just consistently great.
Oh. I wasn't.
Yeah, I get the email. I just don't read half my emails. Yeah, I have that book. Was that a con exclusive?
Yeah, so this is the Sirens of the City, John Jang, San Diego, Virgin exclusive.
No Moss Comics exclusive. Yeah, it's a No Moss Comics exclusive, if I'm not mistaken.
There's some World Tree stuff. Frison has a new Berserker cover.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I love the way she did a suit. It reminds me of Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula suit.
Oh, yeah. I see that. There is a very cool World Tree third printing of issue #1.
That's wicked.
And I'll wrap it up with this.
Man, that's been on sale for a few weeks, too. That's gorgeous. Alan just picked that actual book up not long ago from Dead Media Collectibles. So will the new Transformers be a jump from the Marvel, or are you going to get the G2 series? Because there was a ton of IDW comics of Transformers. So I'm I'm reading all of Transformers. I decided to start at one and just decided to catch up. And I initially just said I'm going to pick up the original run and read it, but it's getting into it. I'm having a blast reading it. It's ridiculously fun. And Dr. Von Hoot, TJ, Travis, Eman, all of these people who like are in my regular conversation circles all swear by different parts of Transformers and have so many different angles that they come from with their excitement. I'm learning that they're all 100% right. So I want all of it. So I'm just reading it straight through. I'm just going to read all of it. And Dr. Von Hoot tells everybody all the time to read the second wave from IDW, I believe is what it is. That he keeps saying it's going to be that's fantastic. So I'll definitely be checking the IDW stuff out as well. Comics by the Bay, what is happening? I don't know if I'll do all the miniseries and stuff like that happens. I know when you hit IDW, you get a lot of them because Izzy sent me a bunch of stuff, and there's tons of them in there. My Void Rivals #1 black and white first print cover is en route. Nice.
I thought I read somewhere today that Skybound is going to reprint all of the Marvel Transformer stuff.
Yes.
Because it's kind of like, I mean, because all of that intellectual property is owned by the company, and so it's kind of like Marvel is reprinting all of the Dark Horse Star Wars stuff that they did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's owned by the company and not by whoever printed it. So,
Dr. Von Nude, I don't have a clue what Dreamwave is. I'm assuming that's that publisher who had it for a very small amount of time. Hashtag Mark has amazing flip flop. Yes, I do. I've been on the amazing flip flop train for many years.
So it'll be good to
to do some content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it'll be good to catch up for people who haven't read Transformers. It'll be a great way to catch up on all that stuff. So
Transformers crossover with My Little Pony is where it's at, man. I'm going to trust you and let you carry that torch for me, Aggressive. Skip Marvel's 4-issue Headmasters. It's a side story that is irrelevant. I will not skip that because that's the only side story that's part of the first volume, and I've already picked it up because of that. And
it's
Pops is already.
And it falls between 37 and 38.
Yeah, I was about to say Pops has already done the due diligence and let me know when I need to read it. And what it is the box art. As I'm collecting all these first series stuff, I noticed when I was putting them all into my little inventory that the box art changed to the headmaster who's holding his head. I'm like, oh, it's relevant. I need it. And it was available to me. I went to my Honey Hole Dead Media Collectibles and picked up all the stuff that they had. And I left behind the movie miniseries, the 3-issue movie miniseries. I left behind Headmasters, and I went back the next week and got Headmasters, and the week after that and got the 1986 comic book movie adaptation miniseries.
That's a sad one.
Yeah. The Image stuff too. Yeah, Image. Yeah, it's been all over the place. I'm shockingly doing well on getting Marvel G.I. Joe run 1 through 155. I got most of the first 75 issues, missing a few, then a large gap. Yeah, go stop by Angels, Jeff. He's got tons of them. DW had some fun reads of Transformers. When you finish vintage Marvel run of Transformers, jump into IDW's Regeneration 1 series. It continues where Marvel's issue 80 finale left off. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, I've been looking like just online window shopping. Those later issues, they are not cheap. You're looking at like $40 and up for a single issue of a book, and I'm looking at needing. I think I've like from between 50 and 80. I'm missing like 27 of them. So like that, like I have like 1 through 50 done, and beyond that, I only have like 3 issues because I haven't actively seeked those out. I just caught those in little bundles, but those things are expensive. So I'm hoping that one of these shops we hit, Paul, has some like low grade is better than no grade copies. Nice, Izzy. That's terrible, Johnny. You didn't see the cubby holes? Like I went to Six Flags. Last few times I've been to Six Flags, you just leave your flip flops in the little cubbies. Hop on that bad boy where you let your tootsies breathe. what's more sad than you losing them is the poor child that probably found them. Last stand.
Hopefully they weren't eating. Like,
see, I only know the records from Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. No, they were in the Dark Side of the Moon. Dark of the Moon. They were in Transformers 3. The twins were in Revenge of the Fallen, and the Wreckers were in Dark of the Moon. They were working with Tyrese Gibson on the tarmac where they had their big ship. We need more 86 Howard the Duck stuff. I miss my wife cutting my nails. Golly. I believe in you. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, I saw that.
This right here. Eman posted a picture wearing a shirt from the Legion of Comics shop with John Romita Jr. holding a Void Rivals book with a Transformers drawing by JR on it. I'm like, dude, we couldn't be more Legion if you tried. This is the most Legion thing I've ever seen in my life.
E-Man, did he do it for free? Like if you don't mind sharing, like what did he charge? Like
that wasn't even that was the sketch on the back. He already had the front filled up too. Like E-Man went up there, and I don't know. He must have been trading a lock of his hair for these sketches because that's a lot of scratch.
Shows us the back of his head. It's just like gone.
Yeah, gone. His hair's gone. That's what he's been saving it for. That's funny. Y'all want to touch on some reads from this week while we wait on E-Man to tell us how much JR charged him for that 3x3 head sketch?
I just got one more thing.
Oh, come on with it. You got 10 more things. You got something, bring it.
Just because we were on the Todd subject, Todd McFarlane also announced that he's going to be doing another Kickstarter, getting out another figure of Medieval Spawn.
Boom.
My favorite Spawn. First appearance, issue number 9.
You got to come prepared, everybody.
The Todd McFarlane toy announcements were insane.
Right? Didn't he also announce like 6 more miniseries or something? Or like the Spawn universe is exploding, like again, isn't it?
Yeah, but we'll see how much he actually writes because he's not doing any writing.
The biggest toy announcements for me was they announced this Batman 6-pack featuring 6 of the Batman, because I feel like the DC multiverse figures, but typically just the movie versions. But in that 6-pack, there were 2 new figures, one of them being Val Kilmer's Batman wearing the suit from the finale of the film. No, from the finale of Batman Forever, yes. And then George Clooney wearing his standard Batman suit. I'm like, that's fantastic. I'm not buying this 6-pack. I have all the other figures in it. And then people are sharing photos from like some of the panels, and Todd does these layouts. And one of them was a build-a-figure way for Batman and Robin featuring Clooney's Batman, Chris O'Donnell's Robin, even though it's not Robin, that's a freaking Nightwing suit. And, he's literally the black and red. It's the new 52 Nightwing suit movie version, pretty much with a cape. But you get Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy, as well as Alicia Silverstone's Batgirl, and it all build-a-figures to Arnold's Mr. Freeze. So I'm going to be getting that whole wave for sure, and I'm going to be on the lookout for when we see that Val Kilmer Batman get released in a set, because I want to get the Chris O'Donnell Robin suit like that. That'll be fantastic. That means that we should have a Jim Carrey Riddler coming, and we should have a Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face on the way as well. And they also teased, I did see something where we finally get a classic Wonder Woman, because believe it or not, Todd McFarlane's DC Multiverse line has never done a classic Wonder Woman. Not even a standard Wonder Woman, like a New 52 Wonder Woman. There's been numerous Wonder Woman movie version, Todd's take on the character, Death Metal have not gotten the standard Wonder Woman. Got Last Night on Earth Wonder Woman. Just if you've built out just a standard Justice League display, you do not have a Wonder Woman for it based on McFarlane's DC Multiverse. And people have been screaming it for a long time. I want a 6-pack, but not enough to work out. I got my 2 sets ordered. Oh, wow. They're talking about the Batman 6-pack. One thing that I did almost jumped on it was the fact that the Batman, the Michael Keaton one, is the 89 version that came in the Batmobile 2-pack that they did a re-release of that sold out in seconds because they made it an Amazon exclusive and the box got it. But I've got the Batmobile and I've got Michael Keaton Batman, but both are based on the Flash movie. So the Batman that I have, the Michael Keaton, does not have the gold belt, which I would like to have the one with the gold belt.
They were talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula and everything. And did we talk last week? Or I don't know if it was last week or if it happened this week, but the Skybound is doing the Universal, starting with James Tynion IV and Martin Simons. So
yeah, they've got their in the Superpowers line as well as the Invisible Jet. They don't have it in the DC Multiverse line.
Yeah, the Universal Monsters, baby. Let's go.
Hi, Johnny Boy. Good night. Yeah, and they're all 4-issue miniseries, I believe. I still do laundry like Chris O'Donnell, Batman Forever. Yeah. I can't believe you want something from that bastardization of a Batman movie. I love those Batman movies. Dude, people can hate on them all they want. Like, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin were fantastic. They did their jobs. Like, what were they intending to be but callback and homages to Batman 66? There were homages to Batman 66 ran by a toy company in an era when I'm a kid that buys Batman movie toys. I still have them from my childhood. I still have like the 3-in-1 Batman Forever set where the Batmobile's wheels pop off and you can slide it into the boat container. You take it out and pop the wings on it. And just, dude, when Riddler and Two-Face sat down and played Battleship. That was amazing. And Arnold, dude, the most quotable movie in history is not Anchorman. It's Batman and Robin.
Predator.
Mark, you're sounding like a collectible addict right now. I might be.
True. Can you name the 3 characters that from DC versus Vampires that Todd has done?
Yeah, he's done Joker, he's done Batman, and I don't know who the third one is, but Batman never even appeared as a vampire in there.
The Joker. The Joker was actually just found annihilated.
Yeah.
That's
Batman and Joker both gold labels. I didn't know that he did a Superman one.
Yeah, there's a Superman, Batman, and Joker. Like you need Green Lantern, you need Wonder Woman. They were the 2 primary vampires that were causing the most havoc.
You need Nightwing.
Yeah, you need Nightwing, really.
Well, yeah, with a crown.
I dropped those prices on the sketches.
Where? Yeah. I think he said they were 40 for the, or 30 or 40 for the autograph. Yeah.
He charged me 30 for the SIG and a sketch. That's Alan great. Was 65. Steve Segoya was free. And that's Frank Cho charged me 5. 30 for a sketch. That's insane.
Like, seriously.
It's insanely cheap. Batman and Robin is horrible. Nostalgia is blind. I 100% agree with both of those statements. Batman and Robin was fantastic. Yo, I still watch it to this day.
It's horrible.
There's a lot worse movies out there that I've enjoyed too. Are you guys caught up on Star Trek Strange New Worlds this season?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes, absolutely. And this season is awesome. Absolutely, aggressively. We were just talking about the crossover episode that dropped this weekend. So.
All right, Izzy, have a good night. That's all you get aggressive is just a yes, it is awesome from Paul. Batman and Robin is way more fun than Batman Forever. Yeah, Batman Forever, dude, I love that movie too. They how overly serious they take it. Just think of Nicole Kidman's first line in that movie. Batman just swings down, she turns around, hot entrance. Like what? What?
Random ice skates. Like, come on, man.
That was Batman and Robin. They weren't random. They had to tap their heels together, Chris.
Come on, man. That was just old fromage.
Breeze in hell. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. At 30,000 feet, your heart will freeze.
To see you.
Beat no more.
Come on.
Was the harbinger of your doom.
I applied for that credit card. Good. I was denied.
Yeah, if you hate Batman and Robin, you're taking it too serious. Meant to be camp. Yeah. I'm shocked we're getting another reboot after Crisis of Infinite Earths for the Tomorrowverse, but it shouldn't have been surprised because Tomorrowverse wasn't that great. Yeah, we were touching on that earlier, Izzy, and I brought that up, and I mentioned it, and it kind of got, we didn't really dive into it, but the Crisis on Infinite Earths, to be doing that series, that's an admission to a reboot. Like they're going to relaunch this bad boy, and I did mention and didn't really discuss it, but they've burned past characters and stories so fast with this, like doing Parallax as a throwaway. Hal Jordan's dead. Like the first time we meet him is just to watch Jon Stewart have to overcome him as a villain, and he's done. But that's kind of be honest with you, I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all to see it go. I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. It almost feels like maybe 2 Elseworlds, but it is. I wouldn't be mad like getting another start with like different animation style, because this animation style, while it's definitely good, it just is not landed like what the previous era did.
And we're always going to get a reboot, because like at the end of Apocalypse War, like everybody was decimated. Like half of them were like robotic, weren't they? And they were like, we're going to go back, Barry. This is a time for you to go run back and change everything.
And think about James Gunn says that he wants to have consistency across the movies and the animated, right? And so if Darren Criss can't be Superman anymore, it'll be Corny Sweat. Yeah, who maybe will be doing the voice of Superman instead going forward. So that's the way I look at it. Is he's rebooting it to himself. So
there's an actual incredible looking scene where Batman rides a telescope off a building. That happened. That definitely happened.
When is Crisis on Infinite Earth supposed to happen? Because like you guys said, that Watchmen isn't coming out until 2024, so that'll happen in 2024.
Yeah, this year's slated out. We have Warworld that releases tomorrow. Oh. Dr. Von Hoot got his copy in a little bit early, watched it, said he enjoyed it. Tuesday, I'm sorry. While whether I pick mine up somewhere in Jacksonville while I'm hanging out with Paul, or whether I get it on the before I pull back home, I'll be watching that Tuesday evening with Finn. I'm very much looking forward to that. R-rated, hard hitting. I wonder if I really don't know what to expect out of the DC animated universe right now. I just know that they've been consistently good. Like the Doom That Came to Gotham was the last one. That was fantastic. Like really fantastic. It was an Elseworlds one, but we'll see. Very violent and gory, Dr. Von Hoot says. The next DC animated feature film is called Justice League Warworld. And it's the next one. The last one was Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes, right?
Yeah.
That's in the connected movie line.
Right.
There's also Esteban.
They've done that Justice League and Ruby stuff.
They did that and Batman, the Doom That Came to Gotham. They're the two that came after that, but those are not connected. Those are all standalone Elseworld stories.
They have the Justice Society one, and then they have the Superman Man of Tomorrow. Esteban, if you've not watched Superman Man of Tomorrow, you should watch that one, because it looks like you didn't add that to your list.
Yeah, the Supergirl one is kind of a deep cut one, but they swerve real heavily away from the beaten path of like these characters. Long Halloween Part 1 was probably one of the best animated DC movies that they've done in a long time. Part 2, just kind of like the book though. Part 1 of the Long Halloween is much better than the latter half of it. Like building the mystery is so much better than knowing the answer to the mystery. Carrot Top doing a voice for DC animated movie. Who'd you pick for him? Condiment King. Next question.
Jarvis Tetch.
Yeah, Mad Hatter. That's a good one. Yeah, Mongol Warworld. But it tells an interesting story that I wasn't familiar with. It looks like they're pulling from like Elseworld stories of the past from the trailer from it. I watched the trailer one time and saw like Wonder Woman and like the Justice Riders, that Elseworld series. You call it Justice, but it's really the Trinity. Yeah, for the most part. We do need more Elseworlds. Justice League Final Frontier is excellent.
Yeah. There's some good
New Frontier?
There's been some good Elseworld stories that they could do.
Oh, I love Man of Tomorrow with Martian Manhunter and Lobo. Yeah, I thought that was super solid. I think the animation style for me though is just like It almost looks like a Jindy. How do you say his name? Like Jindy Tarjinsky or something. He did like Primal and Samurai Jack. It almost looks like his animation style with the thick outlines on everything.
We've been accustomed to like the same style like forever over at DC, so it's kind of hard to get used to.
When they first started, they tried to do like they tried to do like Ed. We talked about Ed McGuinness. They did his style when they did the Dark Side and Supergirl and everything. Right, exactly. And
yeah, when they did Public Enemies, they did it in the style of the artist that did the comic. When they did Apocalypse, they did it in Michael Turner's style. When they did All Star Superman, it looked like Frank Quitely did it. Like they took the animation and they made it match the artist's work in the comics. They need to do that again.
Right.
Dark Knight
Until we get to Simone DeMeo stories, then it'd just be an anime. Don't do that. Don't do anime. We have enough of that.
Yeah.
They tried, they failed, they stopped. They actually had a couple of good movies in the early 2000s. Like by 2007, we had the Invincible Iron Man movie that was good. We had the Doctor Strange movie that was good. This was way before a Doctor Strange live action movie. They did a few.
I like that Doctor Strange movie.
They went heavily into some anime stuff for a little while.
Yeah, they did that.
They weren't even. Those weren't that bad either. Some of them were pretty decent. Like the Wolverine one was pretty decent.
Blade was good.
Go back on that, I didn't mind the animated movie that came out called The Next Avengers. It was all like the kids and stuff. And at that point, Captain America and Black Widow had a kid. And, yeah, I like that.
Like Captain America had a little button and his shield popped up. Yeah, that was fun. Was it old Tony that was helping them, or was it old Banner? I can't remember. It was one of the two.
I think it was old Banner.
Yeah, because he hulked out and helped him at the end. Dark Knight Returns is still the GOAT for me. I can watch part 1 or 2 any day. Public Enemies was great fun. Yeah, that early DC animated universe stuff is great. My favorite is A Crisis on Two Earths, where they roll in the crime syndicate, and you get Owlman proper, like that fight with him and Batman on Earth Prime with the universe destruction bomb. And he looks at Batman. He's like, how'd you stop me? He's like, we're the same. He said, no, we're not the same. We've both looked into the abyss, but when it looked back, you blinked. And then Batman dips. I'm like, yes, that was epic.
And Owlman was just a true psychopath. He's just like, I just want to destroy everything.
Yeah, all of it, myself included. Under the Red Hood.
Was good.
Not to. Yeah, Under the Red Hood. That one brings a tear to my eye. Under the Red Hood is rough. I'm a Jason Todd guy out of all the wards that Batman has had. And the way that Under the Red Hood ends after that very, very dramatic, tough movie to watch, it ends with a flashback of Batman in the Batcave getting ready to go out on patrol, calling for Jason, and he jumps up on top of the Batmobile, trying to like scare Batman, like jump out at him, and he goes, first time in this, he's like, this is going to be the greatest night ever, and it just fades out. I'm like, oh Christ, like this decision is ruining your future. Like, Jesus.
I do like how Jensen Ackles is now voicing Batman. Everybody's petitioning for him to be the Batman in Batman and Robin, or the Brave and the Bold, I should say, like live action.
He could do it. The pick your ending version of Death in the Family with how many different endings? I don't know how many it had, but a lot of people thought that was a waste of a movie because they watched it digital. And when you watch it digital, you don't have that feature to get it. It just gives you one short linear option. So if you don't buy that in physical media, don't even watch it. But I enjoyed that one, like the rooftop fight. I remember sitting there with Kyle. That was also like when that came out, was so early. That's been a few years. That was early in the At Week's End days. And I had my first guest host on, and it was Panda, who came on the show with me the week that came out. I remember that. But yeah, y'all have anything else y'all want to touch on? Want to hit on a couple of books before we head out of here or anything?
Sure.
I don't have all my books with me, but I picked up all the Night Terror stuff. If y'all want to get the full deep dive in the takes on Night Terrors, be sure to check out Sector 2815's channel. We recorded it before I left. It's in the bag. It's ready to rock and roll. It'll air tomorrow. There was
10 a.m.
5 titles.
Correct.
They're still right here. Not yet. And then DC-wise, World's Finest dropped. I think it was issue 17. It's up there. It's around there. But it was the finale to the Amazo War that's happening. And it legit felt like an event book finale. Like what's happening inside of the pages of World's Finest is a spectacle between Mark Waid's writing, Dan Moore's art, but how big and grand they're making the stories and how like just deep cuts into history. You don't have to be knowledgeable on all these things. They're introducing you to a wide cast of characters, and they were all on full display fighting these Amazos. And what cool little turns and twists and like aha moments and hoorah moments. It ended in great fashion. They had to find a way to shut down this new Mazo that was able to mimic beyond the capability of the original Mazo, and they did smart move. They couldn't stop it, so they brought in a Mazo and aimed a Mazo at it. So now you have two beings that can replicate their opponent's abilities, and they just replicated each other to the point of overload. I'm like, dude, that was dope. Along the way, we had the Metal Man in there, we had Plastic Man in there, Captain Marvel showed up. Like everyone was there. It was like a whole DC universe battle. It was dope. Highly recommend people going back and reading that book. Chris has got a fisticuffs.
So this is what I picked up this week, and I'll tell you guys what I read. I picked up Val's new book. I picked up this Frizzen bit of Beautiful. Black Panther 2.
Who's writing that current run?
I know it's not Coates this time. This is a variant cover. Al Ewing. Oh, pardon me, Eve Ewing. Eve L. Ewing with Chris Allen doing the interiors. And just give everyone a little bit of a flavor of how the interiors look. Lots of ads. It's actually very, very nice.
Yeah, that does look solid.
Yeah. Like many people, I picked up Blade #1, hoping good things.
My copy arrived at my house today.
Okay. Extreme Venomverse 5 with It's Jeff. I read Void Rivals 2. I read Scrapper. It's kind of not that good. Mark's hot pick from two cool guys last week was Big Game. I read it from Mark Miller's verse. And my hot pick was Something is Killing the Joel in The Return. And yeah, this little bit of hot Jenny Frizzen action as well.
Is it?
That's a lot.
We'll hit a read with us.
You want to talk Big Game? All of us? I presume we all got Big Game.
I actually have that one with me. Okay. This was my hot pick for the week going in blind. This right here, I'm super ridiculously excited about this. Did anyone else pick up and read it besides me and Chris? In the chat, sound off if you picked up
I have
Big
it,
Game.
but I haven't read it yet.
Well, we're about to spoil the hell out of it for you.
Oh, yeah. So I wasn't necessarily familiar with all his characters. There are some that I'm more familiar with than others. But right off the bat, man, that this is just kick ass, like a pun not intended, but like here we are. We're who you're going to be going up against, everyone.
Yeah, for context, that's like a callback to what did you read Nemesis Reloaded?
Some of it, yes.
Okay, so all right, just to put it all in the context, because Jeff's already asking, do you have to know a lot of Millar's universe? No, you don't. He's going to be introducing you to them in the light of this story, One thing for me, I know of plenty of them. I don't know of all of them. I know of Jupiter's Legacy. I know of Wanted. I know of Kick-Ass. I know of Nemesis. The ones that pretty much everyone knows of. But there's so many more that's been short stories along the way that it's going to be brought in. You can get introduced to them through these stories. So in Nemesis Reloaded, one thing that they taught us was there was a golden age of heroes inside of his Miller world. In the Miller world, Kick-Ass was the first hero. As you know from seeing the movie, why hasn't anyone ever actually tried to be a real hero? So he will be. Well, people did try, and they touched on it in Nemesis Reloaded. There was an era when heroes really did exist, fight for the truth, justice, and the American way and all that stuff. And a band of villains decided we should not fight these heroes one-on-one. We should get together and attack them all at once. And the villains won. They won so well that they erased heroes from the psyche of people. Over the years, they forgot. Over the years, they turned them into comic characters, to movies, to this and that. And even in the pages of this, while he's re-explaining this concept that they divulged in Nemesis, you actually see Jupiter's Legacy playing on the television screen. So I don't think that the Utopian or those characters, which are really like earth-shattering type characters, I don't know if they're going to be folded in beyond just being that little Easter egg. But what we have is this villain society that got together and shut down the heroes all those years ago, came to Nemesis in the end of Nemesis. And this is showing us where it goes from there. And apparently they're trying to bring Nemesis into the fold with them. And this organization is being led by Wesley, James McAvoy's character from the movie Wanted. In the process of this going on, we have other people that are not necessarily associated with them doing stuff like, looks like you have this rich, world's smartest man, almost like a Lex Luthor type or a Mr. Terrific type, exploring and finding these ancient civilization type ruins and everything. And it looks like there is a hero organization that's coming up through the ranks, rising and to try to be some kind of help of the world. It's people that are being empowered, and they're assigned a superhero name for the country that they represent. We do see Kick-Ass for a brief moment in this book applying to be one of those people, and it looks like the big game hunters might be coming to shut them down. It kind of just leaves us still seeing what's going to happen. We're just kind of laying the stage of this Miller world in this issue. But I got to tell you, this was awesome. I just finished Ambassadors, the last series before Big Game.
Mark was talking about, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of them falling. Yeah,
he got sent on an assignment to go check on a train that had a collapse occur on it. When he works his way inside, he sees that all the passengers were not dead from the train crash, but all outside of the train and executed and killed. They were lured in.
So yeah, the Pepe Larraz did the interiors. This is a beautiful book. Like, the interiors I thought were very, very well done, especially for an independent. But yeah, it ends with Nemesis joining the fold.
Yeah, Jorge Jimenez did the interiors for Nemesis Reloaded, and it was easily his best work I've seen.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was France, was it, that got killed? Because they even joke about, like, what am I supposed to call you? I think it was like Iran or something like that.
The one who gets zapped?
Yeah. Was it France? I forgot, because that's when they were kind of touching on, like, see, I didn't read Ambassadors, and it was Pakistan. Pakistan got.
Yeah.
So Pakistan is out.
Yeah. Yeah. But he has, like, kind of the Legion of Comics logo here. That reminds me of Turkey. Mm-hmm.
Or Tofurkey.
Yeah. But yeah, they talk about it that Kick-Ass, the Ambassadors, like there's
the Magic Order will be folded into this, which is his dark team,
so
pretty
you
much.
can see Kick-Ass and Hit Girl there, and then the bottom corner opposite of my finger, that's the Ambassadors, and you can see the heroes are collectively being brought together at this point. So we'll see. We still have yet to see the Kingsmen show up.
Correct. Yeah, their costumes are their country flags. Yeah, the Kingsmen have not hit the scene yet, but it promises that they will be part of this. TM, what's one of the ones that you read this week? Hit us with something good.
Girl number 1, part of Dawn of DC. I really like this issue, and that is not a good issue for people to jump on. Definitely need backstory. It's Kendra. It kicks off with them literally. It kicks off with a story about this girl called Maureen. Little girl at the start and stuff gets visited by this girl with red hair who says, "I will give you anything you want." Kind of like a devil coming into town saying, I'll give you, like, if you sell your soul to me, I'll give you what you want and that, but like, know that I will come back in future for something I need from you. Then it kicks over to, not the Justice League, but you got Superman, Power Girl, and Black Canary fighting. Here comes Hawk Girl fighting in what seems to be blowing some stuff up. Action packed, pretty cool. I don't know what they were fighting or anything. There was no explanation on that. But at this time, you got the whole team kind of going back and forth with Hawk Girl, asking her if she's all right while they're in the midst of a fight, because she's going through some stuff. As you see right here, it keeps going back and forth to visions of her just kind of rolled up in that, and talking about her and Jones kind of separated. They were together. Then comes in Galaxy, who I'm not too familiar with. I don't know if this is her first appearance or if she's been in the comics before.
Who is it?
Galaxy.
Isn't that Starfire's daughter from that Young Teens novel, Paul?
I'm not sure.
You know what I'm talking about? How they do those? DC has like that
Yeah.
line for teen graphic
Yeah.
novel.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Mm.
I haven't read them, so.
You haven't been a
She
young
keeps-
teen for a couple weeks now.
She's able to see like how Hawk Girl's equipment works in that Nith metal, but it's also connected to her body in a way, like it's an energy to her. She keeps following her around. Things get really weird when go back to that witch that picked up Maureen as an adult, got her captured in there, and she's trying to get Nith metal. As she's doing that, Kendra is like contemplating. This is where it gets into like where it's like it's throwing back, like, because like throughout the years she's always like, should I wear my mask? Is this my identity? Or she stopped wearing her mask and helmet, and tried to be just her. Next thing you know, that woman puts onto that machine, and it literally zaps Hawk Girl down. And yeah, turn Maureen into something. So that story is going to happen because it's connected with what's happening with Hawk Girl. Dreamer and them are talking, or not Dreamer, but what's her name? Galaxy is talking to her girlfriend at the time. Says Dreamer sent her to Hawk Girl and tried to help her. Last thing they says, you did great. So what if Hawk Girl was a jerk? It's not like she's going to fly in for a sleepover. Then we get the final scene where she bursts through the window, unconscious, into Galaxy's apartment. So I enjoyed it. I love the art in it, love the mystery behind it, and yeah, it was a really good read.
Where do you think they're going with it? Like, what is it? Just going to be off-world Kendra stuff?
I think it's going to be connected with that witch trying to get Nith metal. I'm going to call her a witch from now. I'm not sure who the character was. It wasn't said in the story, but it's going to definitely be connected with that. And Galaxy. Also, to throw it in, Galaxy, there was a conversation between Kendra and Batman where she was like, hey, can you tell me a little bit about Galaxy? And Batman's like, or like, she's like, do you have any information on Galaxy? And he's like, I have a little, and then lifts off like a page or two of stuff he knows about Galaxy. He's like, that's a little. And how she says she saved the world, but nobody remembers it. And Batman thinks they all repressed it and kept it out of their minds. But Galaxy says she saved the world from an invasion from aliens.
Well, that was nice of her. They were all Skrulls anyways.
Yeah.
There are, you won't find two more characters that have more convoluted histories than Hawkman and Hawkgirl in the DC universe.
Donna Troy's up there.
Yeah, that's true.
But still, they take the cake. Paul, what was a solid read for you this week?
Well, I would do any of the Night Terrors. I really liked. But like you said, you can watch that tomorrow. So I'm gonna go with Void Rivals #2.
Oh. Yes.
Sir. I did not see that coming, Paul.
That's where I was going next. Take us down a little. Tell us a little story.
You're gonna have to. You're always much better at explaining these things than I am, and because I can't even remember the two races' names anymore. But basically, you get a backstory of the two people that are on the planet.
Yeah, we get a flashback to how our male protagonist got stranded on the asteroid with our female protagonist for this story. We get to see his home planet, and we get to learn that they're running out of resources, and they're competing with resources. Chris, will you go to the space page layout, the next page over, where you get to see the layout of the planets and how they're competing over resources and everything here. So they have this dynamic where you have these two planets far outside those rings with this void in between them. And they come from a history where they used to be in unison, where they used to work in harmony and tandem, but over the years they parted ways, and over the eons, so much so that they forgot that they even had a shared past. And now they only know each other from stories and like conspiracies about each other and lies, and they're warring for resources. Legends. So they're racing out to get these resources off of asteroids and stuff. And yeah, here's a little bit of the backstory, how we see that these gems in their head, that they used to be something that would come together like butt cheeks, and until they come together again, there's going to be nonstop problems for these races. And that explains the final page of issue 1 when they demask and you see that they look identical to each other, save for that crystal difference. And we kind of cut back to our main characters after knowing that they raced to this asteroid to be the first ones there to get the resources off. And she reveals that her planet's already out of fresh water. Like, we're about to die, and we have to get this. And so they kind of go back to trying to scrap together a ship. And you get to see how they reluctantly work with each other. They want to work with each other, but just everything that they know that they've been taught their whole life is just kind of slowing them down. They have these little spats back and forth, which is really entertaining. It's written well. It comes off comical at times. It comes off frustrating at times.
It's definitely harder on him than he is.
Nails, yeah. So they get this ship stripped of everything they can, because they can give it just enough thrust that if we can make it light enough, we can get it off this asteroid. And they manage to do it, but not before he says, like, don't worry about making it home and both of us being executed for treason for working together, because we're probably going to die in an explosion trying to launch this ship. And they manage to get it launched. And as they're flying through space, they're sending out a beacon, and they're running the numbers on how long it should take to get there, get back. And it's looking pretty hopeless, like they'll die of starvation or thirst or lack of oxygen before they ever get there. And then that ship shows up that looks like an asteroid itself with mechanics attached to it, and is built off of an asteroid to be able to hide inside the asteroids. And then once they get picked up, they're on this expansive ship, walking around trying to figure out what's what. And this creature comes walking up, holding him at gunpoint.
Transformers movie.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a race of scavengers called the Scuttle somethings. So this is my first experience with them.
So
Say again?
Skuxoid. So if you've seen Transformers the movie, or the generation afterwards where Rodimus Prime is the leader, you'll know that these are just that. They're scavengers for hire that work with Galvatron and those Decepticons. So yeah, that's it really leads to the question: when are they in in Star Wars lore? Because Jetfire is mostly known as being a Generation 1 character. However, he is not. This is Gen 2. This is the days of Rodimus and Ultra Magnus.
And you know from issue 1 that Jetfire was on that asteroid for a long time, because he woke up and registered the space mode like I've been here for eons and takes off. So yeah, it's very interesting, because one thing I'm learning from reading through all this, as well as from Dr. Von Hoot, that Transformers, you can put them on the list with Hawkman, you can put them on the list with Donna Troy, that they have a very convoluted. Yeah, I love that cover. I still don't have a copy. I made the mistake of assuming that my LCS would have them on the shelf when I got there, but they sold out before I got off work. And they have a very convoluted past. Like, you have the TV show telling the story of them. The comics are clearly not the TV show adapted.
Sorry, DVH.
And then you have what's really the gold standard for Transformers story and lore, the Michael Bay verse. And then you have like numerous TV shows that have come since then that kind of tell it in their own way and own thing. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get introduced to the Energon universe. We know G.I. Joe wise, they're not rebooting and starting over. They're picking up and continuing with issue 301 will be their number 1 issue. Transformers is getting a number 1. So I'm curious to see what they canon. What is Image Comics? What is Skybound going to canon Transformer history wise? We'll see. That was a deep enough cut that I had to look it up. I barely remember them. Holy shnikes.
Yeah.
Chris, that isn't Gen 2. Gen 2 is a reboot. Here we go.
What?
Here we go.
I meant Gen 2 toys.
Yeah. See, people measure stuff by the toys. It's all crazy. OG story Jetfire was a Decepticon who went mid-teens, then chose Autobots in the end. So in the comic books, because I just read through the 3rd arc, I have one more issue in the 3rd arc. So I'm doing they're 4-issue story arcs. So I've read 9, 10, and 11. I've got number 12, and there will be the finale of this story arc. But Shockwave is on a mission to build Transformers on Earth, to expand his army, to be able to take over Earth. Pretty much he's doing what the Fallen did in Revenge of the Fallen. You know, he wants to we need more juice. We need to drain the sun so we can use that juice to bring life into these Transformers that he has back on his base that he can't keep alive. Well, Shockwave is wanting to create Transformers using BlackRock Industries resources. He's been taking over like pretty much the Elon Musk of the comic books, this rich guy, inventor guy who has all these different things, all these different nuclear facilities, oil rigs, aviation buildings, and Shockwave's going there, and he's building new Transformers, and he's using Optimus Prime's creation matrix to bring life into them, which is something that is just bestowed upon Autobots through history here and there that are kind of like worthy of it. It's a natural reaction, kind of evolutionary thing for Transformers to someone have this creation matrix in them. And Jetfire was one of his creations. He built the Constructicons, Devastator, and then Optimus sends the creation matrix out of him and puts it into young Witwicky, Buster Witwicky. So just like in Revenge of the Fallen, how Shia LaBeouf seeing all the signs and this and that, and he's all like, Buster goes through that in here. There's so much influence in the Michael Bay stuff that I'm seeing in the comics, and it's pretty interesting to see how they kind of did their own take on it, everything. But Jetfire he made the Constructicons, then he built Jetfire to command the skies, and he wasn't able to put life into him. He could program him, but he wasn't able to put actual sentient life into him because he didn't have the creation matrix to do it with. So he was able to be bested by Buster Witwicky, who has the matrix in him, was able just to like Dr. Manhattan him, just like put his hand up and just dismantle him. So they put him back together after that. So he doesn't look like he's making a conscious choice in the comics to switch sides. It looks like he's not going to be built as a living bad guy to begin with. He's going to be built as a living good guy.
What do you think of it, Paul? What do you think of Void Riles?
You asking me?
Yes.
I really liked it.
It was your book. What did you think?
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I was never a Transformers guy, so that's a lot of that stuff is going to be lost on me. But I'm liking the way that he's building the Energon universe so far. So
yeah,
I don't know if Kirkman's doing any G.I. Joes, but I think I know what you mean. There's going to be a lot of different G.I. Joe series. I know we have like the Duke series, the Cobra Commander series, and
right.
there's one more now.
Yeah.
Right, Larry Hammond's doing the Real American Hero, and then Joshua Williamson's doing the Duke or the Cobra. I can't remember which one.
Cobra Commander and Duke, and there's one other one, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued by that Mark. It's really interesting what they're going to go from the Skybound series.
This is their biggest stuff since Invincible and The Walking Dead both ended.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've had some other stuff, but nothing.
Yeah, they're coming. Yeah, they're coming with an audience. They bought this with a huge. And there's a lot of people like myself that are. We just hit the 2-hour mark. I got anything else I want to put on tonight? Any other reads that need to be discussed? It was really close to doing that.
Mark, move your mic just a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it too quiet?
No, you're better now.
Better now.
Yeah, it was just muffled. Yeah.
Yeah, I won this Hitomi book from Cole's Comics Claims and read it. It was pretty decent if you like ancient Japanese revenge stories type stuff. And then I started reading Mouse. I'm a little better than halfway through volume 1 of Mouse. If you haven't read this, I highly recommend this. This was one of those ones that's hard to put down. It's tough.
Something's Killing the Children of 31 was pretty good. Erica's, the town's police force is reeling after the duplicitite that's a copycat of Erica that wiped out the family, where the one kid managed to escape. He's now in the hands of the police. Cutter shows up and starts wiping out the police force and ends up killing a cop. So we'll see where it goes from there. Erica, in the meantime, is putting a plan together to lure the duplicitite to where she is by putting the emo teenager from the beginning of this particular arc into a swimming pool, because the duplicitite is kind of like a great white that it can smell blood. So it's particularly hunting this one child. So she's putting her into a swimming pool to actually warm her up even more, so that her blood gives a larger scent. And as that's happening, Cutter's totem that Erica has captured begins communicating with her, just trash talking her like there's no way you're going to be able to survive. And Erica just basically tells it to shut up. And when she walks out of the room, the woman from the House of Slaughter that actually hired Cutter to wipe out Erica shows up, because Cutter is gone and just left a trail of bodies that the House of Slaughter can't even keep up with, trying to cover up. So now it looks like the House of Slaughter is coming in to clean up their own problem by trying to eliminate Cutter as well. So we'll see if in the next issue, if Cutter and Erica cross paths properly again, or if it's the duplicitite that shows up hunting the emo teenager. But yeah, it was a typical tie-in first book of a continuation of an arc, where it's just, this is the plan, now it's going to come together in typical tie-in speed. 3.5 Maple Leafs out of 5.
That's solid. Yeah, I got Mouse Volume 1 graphic novel. It's one of those banned books. Yeah, they sell it in stores, though. We're at Books A Million right on the mainland, and they have like the complete thing of it there. I think in America, when they say banned books, they just mean limited in certain libraries, certain books. Because Mouse, you can buy it.
White people losing their minds, that's all.
Yeah. I can't imagine why this wouldn't. Well, that's not true. I can see why this book wouldn't be present at certain places, because this is straight up a biography, just told like with animal inserts for characters. And because it's like an actual person who was alive during, 1930, like some of the terminology he uses to describe other people is not terminology we would use today. Like where he's not meaning it that way, it most certainly is in the past 80 years since he was speaking, the meaning of some of the words that they use are different today. So I can understand, depending on whose library it is, the context of that, if it would be
it's
appropriate
not for
for
children,
it.
though, right?
God, no.
Yeah.
This is like, no, like the dude's like within the first 8 pages, he's already like banged a couple chicks and had a spat with his fiance over it. You know what I mean? This isn't.
So it won't be winning any Eisners for children's.
It's an older book, though, isn't it? It's
already
really
won all of
80s?
its awards. No, it's 92.
Okay.
And it won the winner of the 1992 Pulitzer Prize. And I'm sure it earned it, but I'm saying this is not a kid's book. So this, like, I think like this is like upper teenager and better. Exactly, Finn. It's a grown-up book. I think if you're probably, I would say, because of the subject matter, like depending on the parents' decision on like how grown up their 13, 14, 15-year-old is kind of thing, it's one of those things. Yeah, there are 2 volumes. Yeah, 2. I pay more books. I got the complete Mouse book. It's really not banned. It's just not allowed in schools. Yeah, it really shouldn't. I can't imagine this being appropriate for anywhere but high school, and even then, yeah, it would be high school appropriate. But I think too many kids, because of how kids be kids. You get a couple of kids together, just grabbing one of these, hanging out at the lunch table, just making fun and making light of like slurs that are in it. That's the problem with books like this in schools, is kids be kids. Kids be kids. I think in the proper context, it should definitely be given out. Like I know, like I had amazing history teachers all the way back in the middle school, and permission slips went out, and we did like this whole month like studying the Holocaust, and Schindler's List was part of it, and like parents were fully told what the intention of this, because it was outside the normal lesson plan. He was a fantastic teacher, and he really brought like the history to you kind of thing. Like we did a whole Zapruder film for the JFK assassination in 7th grade. Again, parents were like, "Hey, we're going to get detailed on this. If y'all have a problem with it, let me know so your kids can have ulterior lesson plans that day." Yeah, it's definitely more high school appropriate. Even then, like the kids are going to sit there, and at that point, they're old enough to know what they're doing is inappropriate, and if they take it the wrong way or use it irresponsibly, they can be held accountable for acting like that. But below high school age, I don't think it's appropriate. But Shakespeare and Lord of the Flies are taught freely. No, nothing. There ain't nothing wrong with Lord of the Flies. Some Shakespeare, yeah, Lord of the Flies ain't bad, man. Other than calling the kid Piggy.
Shakespeare was just
Shakespeare.
Teenage love.
Yeah.
Taming of the Shrew.
Paul, what are you planning on hunting down Tuesday? Oh, I seen you doing that. He did this immediately. He's got ideas. This man's got ideas.
Yeah, I have. I'm trying to complete my World's Finest run, so I'm trying to see.
And he's talking about volume 1 in case anyone's wondering. Paul carries a big stick.
Also, Flash, the Barry Allen, from there. I can get some Superboy probably. So, I got lots of different things that I can go for.
Yeah, I don't really ever think that like just like violence is ever going to be something that's really like inappropriate for high school kids that are playing video games and stuff like that. I think it's going to be more context, more story matter. TM, what do you got on your this week's to-do list, this hunting list, this picking up or streams, or what do you got going on?
Streams between the lines. Tomorrow we have Dave Brown joining us over on my channel. I'm getting together with somebody who, this isn't going to be live or anything. They're just getting together with me, and I'm going to go through some comics that he wants to send me, and that he just wants to go through some of his collection and that and see what I want. So,
do you need my information? Does he need my information?
Maybe.
Chris, what do you got going on?
Well, two cool guys hot picks dropped this weekend, everyone. If you want to see what my hot pick and Mark's hot pick singularly are. I'm also going to be taking a look out for ASM because I'm a sucker. But World Tree number 4, it's got me kind of curious what's happening in that particular dark world. I'm going to be opening a mystery box from Ken Lashley himself tomorrow on my channel, and an open invitation for New Comic Book Day Wednesday. Show us what you got. If you're interested, all you have to do is just reach out to me for the link and show whatever new books. Don't necessarily have to be New Comic Book Day books. Could be new books to your collection. Just come on and say hello. And I think that's about it. Oh, I have some Ollie's packs to open.
I love Ollie's.
From Comics by the Bay. He hooked me up with some Ollie's packs.
And what's cool about those aren't all new books. Those are random assortment books, and you can actually catch bangers in those, legitimate bangers.
So I'm kind of known for opening some Walmart stuff, so I'm curious to see what Ollie's has. Like I said, he hooked me up with some packs, so I'm going to be opening those at some point in the very near future, but also do have some new Walmart packs I want to open as well. Thanks, man.
Very cool. Tomorrow I've got the part 4 of my graded comic collection. I'm going through it, just grabbing a stack randomly, showing off some books, but telling the stories and the sentiment attached to those books. And if you check out those videos, you can enter to win a Catwoman 47 Nathan Zerdy CGC 9.8 donated by none other than Headquake Jr. here. Big shout out to Jeff. And Jeff, if you win, I'll have a completely separate slab that I'm not even going to announce because no one else gets the option of picking. I'll just have a different slab to give to you. And so be able to be on the lookout for that. Tuesday, I'm not sure what's going to happen with content. I do intend to do something with content potentially, or I won't. It's one of the two. But Wednesday, there is a video that's coming out about this scam that has been going around the comic book community. It's very sad. It's very unfortunate. And it's been covered thoroughly. So what I'm going to do is just mention it and point you in the direction to go find where the details are if you choose to go down that route, but turn it into a positive and highlight some trusted, safe members of the community that I would recommend checking out. Yeah.
All right. Paul, who's coming up on Guess That Key?
This week is an off week this week, but next Wednesday we are planning on having an OG episode of Guess That Key. So we are planning on having Jake and Jesus are planning.
Jake and Jesus are back.
We're hoping so.
All right.
Next Wednesday, 9:30.
Well, I appreciate everybody stopping by. Oh, go ahead.
We will be giving away comics. We're going to have. I'll be posting it on my IJ, but it will be an Eisner award-winning prize package.
Ooh.
The prize pack didn't win the award. The books are Eisner award-winning books.
Correct.
But if they did an Eisner category for Guess That Key giveaways, I bet Guess That Key would win.
I see what you did there.
So be sure to check out everybody's channels on here. Hit that subscribe button, and I appreciate everybody coming and hanging out tonight. Be sure to hit the thumbs up on your way out if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the join button and check out some of the details that are attached to becoming a member of the Legion. Shout out to all the channel members that are out there. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.
And you're welcome to come use one of the 8 easels we have set up for creating art here at the show for consideration for our art auctions on Saturday for our major auction at 8 p.m. at the Weston Ballroom. And the smaller auctions we'll have here on the convention floor on Sunday starting at noon.
That's a flash from the past.
So any artist that we have